Happy Monday, everyone. The week is beginning. We're going to kickstart it off with some good strength work for you guys today. So in terms of what we got going on today, we have a plank lean for 2 to bear squat, 3 to 5 reps. Side lunge for 6 alternating into our side scale for 3 a side. Our sumo squat for 5 at a 3-1-3 tempo. And a dynamic triangle for 3 a side, loaded or unloaded. You're going to hit that for 2 to 3 rounds, and you're going to move into our first strength cycle here. That is going to be 3 to 5 rounds. Depending again on how much volume, how much time you have, rock it, have some fun with it. What we have is the goblet squat for 8 to 10 reps at a 3:03 tempo. So that's 3 seconds down, 3 seconds stand. It's going to be a little slow, a little burny near the end of the 10 or 8 reps, but pick your number, have some fun with it, and keep them clean. From there, you're going to rest 20 seconds. It's not a long time, but it's enough time to get yourself up for the foot-assisted pistol. So you're going to rock 8 per side at a 0:03 tempo. So that's 3 seconds down, normal stand. And I'm going to show this loaded today as well as unloaded. So if you'd like to experiment, if they're getting a little bit easier, you can experiment with a light dumbbell or a little bit of weight to the goblet position. After that, we have a 20-second rest, again, just to kind of get you moving to the next exercise, which is going to be 20 bridges with a dumbbell or no dumbbell on the hip. And you're going to hit that for 90 to, you're going to do that for 20 reps, and then you're going to rest for 90 to 120 seconds, which is a minute and a half to 2 minutes of rest. So hit that through 3 to 5 rounds, and then you're going to take it over to the upper body work set that we have again for 3 to 5. So again, depending on how much time you have, how much volume you want to give yourself, it's totally fine to mix and match the numbers in terms of doing 5 rounds of squats, 3 rounds of overhead, or 3 and 3 for both. It's up to you guys, all right? Our overhead position and our upper body love is going to kickstart off with the dumbbell push press today. So we're going to work on 8 to 10 reps, working with that nice, good high velocity movement through the hip. 8 to 10 with a 3-second negative. So it's going to be a nice quick up and then a slow lower to the shoulder. Rest 20 seconds, just like the other piece here, just to get you again set up. Tempo push-up for 8 reps at a 3:05. So that's a 5-second lower, 3-second press. So a little faster on the press up, a little slower on the down. So just keep that in mind, play with that, set yourself up so you can maintain those positions. 20-second rest again, just to kind of get you to position. You're going to do 8 per side dumbbell bent rows with a 3-second negative. And then after that, you're going to rest again, same as the lower half, anywhere from 90 to 120 seconds, just to kind of give yourself that moment to kind of get everything back in action, back in normal, and then start again. All right? So we got a lot of good strength work coming at you. You're going to get a good burn all around. I hope you enjoy. Let's get you ready to go. All right, guys, let's get you guys warmed up and ready to go. We'll get our feet under the hips. We'll take the arms big and tall overhead. We're going to reach it over to one side. We're going to come back up to center, reach it to the other side. Come back through and forward fold. We're just going to touch those toes, walk up those shins, waken things up a bit. We'll flow down, we'll step the foot back into our lizard. We're going to press that heel back, that shin forward as we inhale, reach up, and then exhale down. Take the outside hand up and bring it down. Inside hand's going to come up again, but this time we're going to bend into 90. We're going to reach straight ahead, and we're going to pull back. We're going to reach straight ahead, and pull back. And one more time, reach straight ahead, and pull back. We're going to reach up. We'll take the hand down, outside hand, reach up, and plant the hand on the floor. We're going to step back into our down dog, reaching those hips. Come back into our plank. We'll step the other foot up into that nice lizard, nice and square. Inside hand's going to reach up just to see how it feels. Outside hand's going to come up. We'll come back down. Inside hand's going to come up, but this time we're going to bend at the 90. And we'll reach straight ahead and pull back. Straight ahead, pull back, and straight ahead and pull back. We'll reach up. Come back to the floor. Outside hand's going to reach way up to the sky. We'll come back down, step that foot back into the down dog, reaching those hips. Just going to walk the heels out a few times this time, just to make sure things feel okay. Wake everything up a bit, and then come back to center, setting that good plank, tiptoe those feet up. Then we're going to roll ourselves up, big stretch. Good, come back down with the arms. Whew. let's get you guys ready to go. All right, if you'd like to pause the video, take down a little bit more gentle kind of warm up, some more lizard lunging, perhaps some rotation, maybe a little bit of cat-cow, please do so. Pause the video, take that down. Come join me again. We're gonna work on that top piece of our work set and get you guys warmed up a little bit more. So I'm gonna turn to the side in terms of our movement. With these plank leans though, I want you guys to think about initiating through the shoulders. So I'm gonna get set up again in my plank. So my feet come back nice and tight, pressing through the shoulders. I'm gonna pull my ribs in, press my shoulders to the sky, and I'm gonna initiate through the upper body as I lean, and then I'm gonna come back through and shift, and then come back to center. I'm gonna adjust my feet to my squat stance so that I can pull my hips straight back, armpits towards the floor, and then press straight ahead. From here, I'm gonna make sure my core is tight. I lean to the left, I come back through, lean to the right, come back through, and then I pull back into that nice bear squat, and then I come back into that plank. So again, I'm making sure that I'm only going as far as I can in terms of that bear squat so I can maintain that good shoulder position. Armpit pointing down towards the floor, like your lats are giving you a big hug, just wrapping around your body. You can feel that stability through that upper back. If you feel those shoulders start to go and kind of cave in on your neck, we want to make sure we stop going back and just go to our edge and then come back into the plank, reset, go again. Right? From there, we're going to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to work through our side lunge. So the side lunge, standing up nice and tall, my toes are out, pretty wide stance, I have to say. I'm going to take my hip to my heel, and I'm going to try and stay upright as much as I can. I want to think squat for this, as much as again I'm lunging, I want to think about squatting mechanics. So my hip is going to my heel, my knee is tracking my toe, and my weight is right through the midfoot. My feet stay nice and flat as well, so my big toe stays in contact with the floor. I want to make sure that everything is pressing as I push up into that standing position. So everything is nice and loaded like a squat, and I come back to that full extension. After my side lunge, I'm going to continue to work that side kind of movement. I'm going to pick my favorite side. I'm going to stay nice and vertical. Hands can go where they need to go, all right, for balance purposes. But we're going to point this toe so the top of my foot points towards you guys at the camera, and I'm going to lift my leg up, and my toe points, and the top of my foot continues to point towards you guys the whole time. I'm also using control, and I'm not whipping my leg up to get it super high. I'm also not leaning over. I'm trying to keep a nice straight line from shoulder, hip, and foot, and staying tall and straight as I work on that leg lift. So take your time with those. They're a great exercise. We want to make sure we're working and stabilizing through the hip, keeping the hip square to the front and the top of the foot pointing forward. After the side scale, we're going to come back to a double leg movement. We're going to move into our Sumo Squat. So again, I have a slightly wider stance, a little narrower than my side lunge. But what I'm going to do with this Sumo is push my knees out just a little bit more than I would in a normal air squat. Just so that with a wider stance, my knees continue to track the toe, my feet stay nice and flat and solid, and then I stand with good position. So my feet stay nice and flat, weight through the laces, my hips kind of go towards where my heels are, and I stay as upright and straight as I can in my back. From that sumo stance, I'm going to go right into my dynamic triangle. So one toe points to the side, the other toe points on the angle. Hand's going to come to the thigh, the other hand's going to go up to the sky. I'm going to pull my hip back, taking that hand down to my foot or down the shin as far as I can, and stand tall. The important part about this is that as I pull the hip, that is what tips the body, right? So it gives me space in that side body as I lower down. I'm not just kind of crunching over and kind of pinching in here. I'm pulling back, which opens this up. I can feel it in my hamstring, and my body tips well. So remember that, it's that hip drawing back. Just like a good morning, when we pull our hips back to get the hinge, it's just to the side. So I pull back, I get the hinge, It's just a slightly different position for my hinge. So we have 3 per side on that, and then we'll take it to the top of the list again. So it's a quick recap. Plank lean for 2 to bear squat for 3 to 5. Side lunge for 6 alternating reps. Adding tempos in there if you'd like. Side scale for 3 per side into a sumo squat for 5 at a 3-1-3 tempo, and then dynamic triangle for 3 a side. 2 to 3 rounds. That should get the body moving really, really well, and then you're going to move into that first solid work set, so the lower body work set. Pause the video, take down that warm-up set. If you want to add anything else in there, please do so, but come back, join me. We're going to go through these exercises for our squats and our lower body stuff. So we're going to start off with our goblet squat, and that all has tempo of a 3-0-3, so that's 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. My feet are going to be in my regular squat stance. My dumbbell, or a load of what I'm using, is going to be under my chin, and I'm going to try and stay as upright as I can. So just like in my side lunge or my sumo squat, my hip is going to go towards my heel, so it's not going to go too far back, it's just going to go back a little. And I'm going to push my knees out just a bit to keep my knees trapped in the toes. I'll take it as deep as I can maintain position, and then I'll stand pushing through those feet and come into that full extension position. So the hips go back, down, weight through the midfoot, nice flat foot contact, and then I stand nice and tall. I'll take 8 to 10 reps there, 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up, and then I'm going to rest for 20 seconds. I'm going to get myself set up for my foot-assisted pistol. So I'm going to pick my favorite foot to start. I'm going to get my foot flat, my toe just behind the heel, nice and tall in body. I'm going to squeeze my glutes. And again, like my squat, I'm going to take my hip to my heel and take it down in 3-second tempo. So nice and smooth, focusing my weight on my flat foot, and then I stand through this leg. This leg here is just there for balance and help you maintain position as you lower down. So you're just using that balancing foot like a little kickstand, and then we stand, allowing this knee and that ankle to stay really stable and solid. If those are getting a little bit easier, you can take a light load, so lighter than what you use for your goblet squat, and you can take the dumbbell under your chin, and you can work on this with a slight load. So the movement doesn't change, the tempo doesn't change. The only difference is that we're loading this a little bit, just to get a little bit more load in that single leg, with that assistance leg helping out just a little bit. So if you want to load them, you can. If you're like, no, I'm not quite there yet, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. You can get some tremendous benefit with this exercise in terms of balance, stability, movement quality, without any load for years. All right? The extra load is just for some fun if you'd like to play. All right? After those foot-assisted pistols, we have a 20-second rest, and then I'm going to lay on my back again and get set for my bridge. So if I'm going to load this, I'll take my dumbbell and I'll place it on my hips, and I'm just going to hold it in place with my hand so it doesn't roll all over the place. I'm going to press down with my feet, and my shoulders are going to be another stable point, and squeeze my glutes and open, and then I come back down. I'm not going so high that I feel any pressure in my neck or my head, but I am getting a full extension that allows me to maintain position and my hips nice and level. If you'd like to add a tempo into that bridge, you're more than welcome to add a 3-second lower. Nice big squeeze at the top, 3-second lower. But I'd suggest giving yourself a beat at the top and a moment at the bottom, just to gather yourself, own the movement, and make sure you're executing well and not just using momentum to bounce yourself off the floor. As a quick recap, we have 3 to 5 rounds of that work set. Goblet squat of 8 to 10 reps. 3-0-3 tempo, so 3 down, 3 up. 20-second rest into our foot-assisted pistol of 8 aside at a 0-0-3 tempo. You can load them or not, it's up to you. And then you'll move again, 20-second rest, into 20 bridges. If you'd like to add a tempo, you're more than welcome. You can do them loaded, unloaded, but really focus on those glutes. 90 second to 120 second rest. Repeat, 3 to 5 rounds. Pause the video, take it down. You guys have fun with that lower body set. It's going to be a good day. We're going to move into the next phase, which is that upper body work set that again is 3 to 5 rounds. So pause, rock the lower body work set. Come join me again for this upper body piece. The upper body piece is going to kickstart off with a dumbbell push press. And you can do this with 2 dumbbells or 1. I just have a single out right now for our goblet squats, but I'll show you how you can do it with a single and or the double. You just use both dumbbells at the same time. So I'm going to pick my dumbbell up well. I'm going to clean it up so it comes to the shoulder. The back of the dumbbell is resting on the shoulder. I'm pressing slightly into the dumbbell to keep my active rack position. And I'm going to have my feet above hip width or just outside hip width apart. I am going to dip in this nice vertical dip, keeping my knees slightly out, shoulders over top of the hip, and then I'm going to drive out of it. So at speed, it'll look like so. Dip, drive, and then I'm going to come down, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pause, reset my breath, dip, drive, 3, 2, 1. Making sure that that elbow comes down into proper position every single time, and I'm not using momentum, so I'm not doing touch and goes. So give yourself a little beat in between every single rep as you get tight and get ready for that push press. If you're going to do a single, you'll do 8 per side. If you're doing double, you'll just do a set of 8 with both dumbbells. So keep in mind we have a 3-second negative, and we're going to work on that nice little momentary pause at the shoulder to take away any momentum from that movement. You'll rest 20 seconds, and then you're going to get ready for some push-ups. And if you've been doing push-ups on a chair, a countertop, ottoman, whatever it happens to be, keep using that option and keep using that because the movement points of performance are the same, they're just a little more elevated, and that's okay. I'm going to show you some options from the floor. So we have 3 options from the floor. We have nice solid plank position to start all 3. My hands are under my shoulders, my glutes are pulled under into that nice rib position, that hollow, and I'm going to lower forward and down, creating a nice tripod, and then I'm going to press up. So I'm making sure that my elbows come down into that nice 45. So if you were looking at me from top down, I'd look like a little arrow pointing that way. So I want to keep those elbows about a 45 so I can really keep that shoulder good and stable and work on some pec and some tricep love there. My other option, all right, is if I have the strength to lower through my toes, I'm going to maintain tension, drop my knees, come up, and then back into my plank. My last option is I get that nice tight plank, I lower my knees so my shoulders stay over my hands, I come forward and down slightly, and then I press up, maintaining that position in my knee plank. So I still want you, if you're going from your knees, I still want you to use that plank to get you set into that position because you can maintain that hollow and you can set that good hollow position for your push-up from the plank, dropping to your knees, you're set, good and tight, ready for action. So we want to make sure that we are coming slightly forward and down, creating that little tripod from chin to fingertip on each variation of push-up. So it keeps that elbow stacked over top of the wrist. After the push-ups, we have a 20-second rest as well. And then you're going to move into your bent row. So we have 8 per side. I have my bench back here for you guys. So you can use a chair, table, ottoman, whatever sets you up well for this. I want you guys to keep in mind the knee is stacked under the hip as I get set up almost like a tabletop on my bench or my table, whatever I'm using. My other hand is hanging down underneath my shoulder, and I'm going to stay tight to my core, and I'm going to let that shoulder drop just a bit so that when I initiate the movement, I start by pulling the shoulder back, and then I pull into my hip / little rib, and then I'm going to lower down 3, 2, 1. I will drop the shoulder, I pull back and in to my hip and low rib, 3, 2, 1. Nice and set to that position. Making sure I'm not using any bounce to get momentum into that bent row. I want to make sure that I have a little beat at the bottom so I can initiate through that upper back and shoulder and pull to the rib. So please keep that in mind. Think control all the way through that range of motion. It'll help build that really good upper body and shoulder strength. It's a great exercise for some pulling. Quick recap on this work set, 3 to 5 rounds, dumbbell push press, 8 to 10 reps, 0-0-3 tempo, so no tempo on the up, but a 3-second lower down to position. Then you're going to rest 20 seconds, tempo push up, get some horizontal pressing, 8 reps, 5-second lower, 3-second press. So you're gonna press a little faster, but not too much faster. And then you're gonna rest 20 seconds again. And then you're gonna rock dumbbell bent row for 8 per side at a 3-second negative. So that 3-second down to extension of the elbow. Rest 90 to 120 seconds, and then repeat that for 3 to 5 rounds. Today is all about strength, you guys. Enjoy your rest periods in between your rounds. You can drink some coffee, you can get ready to go. You can do a little bit of light mobility if you'd like to. But use that rest, embrace it, have fun with this, you guys. I hope you enjoy. Work for quality, have fun, and we'll see you tomorrow for a little bit of a higher heart rate coming at you guys. But I hope you enjoy the strength to kickstart the week. Bye, you guys.